Well, mahalo as we look at OKO Arm Lock number 9. This one is going to be a little bit more interesting than the others, borrowing concepts and principles from the last. Once again, coming from 12 o'clock in our green zone, left leg slightly forward. The opponent comes in with a punch, right leg, right foot forward. And as he comes in, I'm going to shorten the distance, left leg slightly step in, and knife hand chop the arm. As I do so, I need to cancel that second arm, so my right hand's going to shoot up with a forearm strike, rolling the arm. I'm going to push his right hand back with my left. My right hand is going to meet my left and put him into an in-air arm bar. Once again, I'm going to in-play stance change because I want to hit him with a planet. My right foot meets left. I'm going to step back with my left, creating room for me to hit him on the ground. I'm going to push with my hands towards his arm, causing the negative body posture, and to place him down the ground. As he's going down, I'm going to control release with my right hand, allowing me to get ready to strike as he lands, or I can strike what we would call a strike down. I can strike on their way down. Once again from the beginning, left leg slightly forward, he comes in, strike, strike. Push back, join my hands. Once again, this should look like a very familiar hand position. If some of you do Hawaiian Lua, or some of you do American Kempo in the salutation, this hand position should be very familiar. Once again, he steps in, strike, strike, grab, inner arm bar, drop my elbows in play stance change, drop them down to the ground. Control release, strike down. Follow up, cross, and cover at a 45-degree angle. This has been OKO Arm Lock number 9. Stay tuned for concepts and principles. Mahalo as we look at OKO Arm Lock number 9. Once again, step through punch with the right leg, right foot forward. As that right punch comes in, whether it's straight or circular, we need to stop it before it gets to apogee, right? So left outward knife hand block. As I do, I'm going to grab and control. Now, once this stick is here, I'm going to strike into, whether I strike with the ridge hand and roll into the forearm strike, or whether we just go to the forearm strike depending upon distance. What I want to do is, if any of you have ever rode motorcycles, on the handlebars, my right hand is the throttle. We're going to reverse throttle in this particular case. Once again, I'm going to rotate my left wrist forwards to allow the rotation of the arm to expose the elbow for the strike. So once again, the strike comes in, I'm going to chop, I'm going to rotate it, creating that negative body posture and exposing the elbow then for my strike. As I do so, I'm going to snake and rotate and grab onto my other hand, creating this triangle in order for me to control my opponent. Once again, strike, throttle, strike. Control, now I'm going to in-play stance change to create room, then take him down. Now what also is in here, in this frictional pull and control release, I'm going to control release my right hand, allowing me then to strike as he goes down. And as we hit him with a planet, as we say. So what do we have as far as concepts and principles in OKO Arm Lock number 9? We've got the forearm strike, or the ridge hand slash forearm strike underneath the arm. We have rolling or throttling. We have frictional pull. So what do we mean by frictional pull? Frictional pull is at any point, for instance, if this is my opponent's arm, anytime I'm rotating from one position to another and I'm placing force upon the arm, we are going to then create frictional pull. Frictional pull shows up all over the place, but for instance, if I'm punching with my right arm and your left arm then comes and hooks over my arm as part of your defense, your right arm, and you pull towards my wrist, notice my head came forward. We would call that frictional pull. Do you hear the friction between my arm and my other arm? That is frictional pull. We have, once again, the in-play stance change and hitting our opponents with the planet. We're going to start seeing a little bit more frictional pull in some of the, especially the arm and the wrist locks coming up, and to find out where you can insert or where there's frictional pull in the previous techniques. Usually it's with something we might call the shape of the crane, or as you're going from a knife hand block down to actually grabbing and capturing their wrist or their elbow. Look for those opportunities to create that frictional pull and that stuttering motion in our opponents. With that, this has been a look at OKO Arm Lock number 9. Aloha, mahalo, and live pono.